Right, so in this video, I'm going to be telling you about all the financial assistance, financial support that you can get if you decide to study nursing in England. So if you decide that you want to study nursing, in fact, if you're watching this and you've been thinking about studying nursing and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to cope with my kids? How am I going to cope with work? What about the financial implications? Can I afford this? What about tuition fees and all of these? Then you need to watch this video till the end, because I'm going to be telling you every single thing that you will be entitled to and what you can get financially, obviously money that you can be given just to assist you to study nursing in England. So obviously different countries have different conditions, but what I'm saying in this video is valid if you're studying nursing in England. So basically, in fact, if you're new to the channel, again, you're very much welcome here. It's such a beauty to have you, and if you're a returning subscriber, it's always a pleasure to have you return and watch these videos. Again, I'm Melvis. I work for the NHS as an advanced nurse practitioner. I also have a private career coaching service where I support nurses, student nurses, and carers with career progression in the UK. So this is something that I'm really passionate about, the content of this particular video, because I know many people want to study nursing, but they are very worried about first age. Am I too old? Oh my goodness. Some people are like, am I too young? Is nursing for people who are much older? Other people are like, am I going to cope with the academic ability? Am I going to cope with the stress from the job? Look, you need to put all of that behind, because if you really want to do it, you know that you can do it if you choose to. So anyway, let's dive deep into the video. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do hit subscribe, turn on that notification button, because you want to be the first to be notified when I drop a video here every day. And I'm all about career progression, what's going to make your life really easy in the UK. How can you get those top jobs in nursing, senior positions? If you want to specialize, become a nurse practitioner, nurse, endoscopist, nurse anesthetist, specialist nurse, you want to develop into a manager. What are the pathways? I have online courses that cover all these different pathways. In fact, over 15 different nursing career progression pathways. So you want to check the link in the description box below and the comment section where I've put information about my private coaching program. So now let me get into the video. So if you're studying nursing, there's a lot of financial assistance that you can get just to support you through. And the main reason for this is that nursing is mainly done by mature students, which means that the average age for a student nurse in England, for example, is in the 40s and 50s. So many people study nursing not as their first career, but mainly as a second career. So people have probably already had a career, they've had children, they've had a family, and then they decide at some point, oh, I'm going to get into nursing, and then they do that. So obviously, because of this reason, the government has put in place some really special financial assistance to support this group of people. And this financial assistance is divided into two different sections. So the first one is going to be about money that is free. So if you get any of this money, it's free. These are generally called the bursary or called a grant. So what this means is that if you get money that is a bursary or a grant, the money is free. You don't need to pay it back. And then on the other hand, we're also going to talk about money that is a loan, which means that if you're getting any money from this particular source, you will need to repay it back at some point. So it's very important that you understand the differences between the two, the terms and conditions, and all of that before you're diving yourself deep into receiving this money. Because look, nobody's ever going to give you money for free without any conditions. It does not happen. So we're going to start with the free money, what you get that you don't have to pay back. So in England, there's what is called the Learning Support Fund. So the Learning Support Fund, basically, they assist students that are studying, so that they can have some kind of financial support. So if you're a student nurse, there's no different. Every single student nurse gets £5,000. So yes, if you choose to study nursing in England and you apply, you will get £5,000. It doesn't matter whether you're studying general nursing, you're studying pediatric nursing, you're studying mental health or learning disability, you will get £5,000. Just because you've applied to study nursing. That's the first thing. Everybody gets that. All student nurses are going to get that £5,000 just to say, hi, Melvis, well done for choosing to study nursing. Here you are. You get £5,000. So everyone gets that. So that's £5,000. And I want you to just make sure that you subscribe to the channel, make sure that you turn on your notification button, because again, you want to be the first to be notified when I drop a new video here. And also, before I continue, just leave a comment below and say, Melvis, I will implement, because if you've been procrastinating about studying nursing, this is the opportunity for you. Leave a comment and say, I will implement, and I'll just hold you accountable for that, chase you up and be like, hey, what have you done about this? So that's the purpose of all of this. So the second sort of support that you're going to get is, if you have children, you can get £2,000 per year to support you with childcare. So on top of the £5,000, you can also get £2,000. This is if you've got children. If you haven't got children, obviously you're not going to get that £2,000. And then there's even more. So if you choose to study, say, learning disability nursing or mental health nursing, you get £1,000 for simply choosing learning disability nursing or mental health nursing. You get that. And this is because there's really an acute shortage in this area, and many people don't really choose this particular specialty in nursing. So to encourage more people to choose to study mental health nursing and to choose to study learning disability nursing, you get an extra £1,000 given to you for simply just choosing these ones. So again, that's more money. Adding, if you add the 5,000, 2,000, and 1,000, we're now at £8,000 that you can get to simply support you to study nursing. And then the next thing that you can get also is money to support you with placement. Obviously, if you're a student nurse in England, you need to do 2,300 hours of clinical placement. So that's working in healthcare facilities. You need to do that's a lot of hours, 2,300 hours. And you also have to do 2,300 hours of theory. So that's in university. So in total, you can see that you need to do 4,600 hours for you to become eligible to register with the NMC. So overseas nurses, for example, they have to do IELTS, OET, CBT. For UK students, home students, you know, this is what you do instead, all these hours of work. So if your placement where you're working, obviously as a student, is normally allocated by your university. So if your university decides to allocate your placement and they allocate it somewhere really, really far away from home, then unfortunately, in most cases, you can appeal, but 99.9% of the cases, if the university does not change it, you have to go there. But there's financial assistance available to support you if this does happen to you. So let me give an example. If from your house to your normal places of placement or university, let's say, you normally spend say £5 from your house to the university. If they give you a placement in an area where instead of spending £5 to get there, you're going to spend say £15 to get there every day, that can be a lot of money. If you have a placement for 4 weeks or 8 weeks, you'll be spending a lot of money every day. So instead, they're going to support you and pay for the difference. So instead of you spending £5 per day, you're spending £15. Because they've given you a placement somewhere that's very far away, you will get a refund of £10 for every day that you go on placement. But the thing with this money is that you don't get the money, obviously, in advance. You need to spend the money, keep all the receipts, and then apply to get it reimbursed. And look, if you do apply, you get the money back. And you have to show receipts, you have to show evidence, bank statements, and all of that. If you don't, you're not able to get the money back, really. So this is again more support to make sure that you're able to get to your placement where you're working as a student and return home safely. So obviously, like we've said, you know, that's all part of the support. And then there's even more as well. So some areas in England barely have people applying to study nursing. If you have a very rural area, for example, you may find that not many people, you know, decide to study nursing there. And if there's a university in that area that has like, say, 100 places allocated for nursing students, if they end up getting like 20 people, there's also an incentive. You can get paid £1,000 for choosing to study nursing in this particular area. You know, so if you're living somewhere in England and you're thinking of studying nursing, you need to check to see if your area is eligible for this particular, you know, money, because you can get £1,000 extra, which look, is a lot of money because it all adds up over time. And then the next thing also that you can get is a hardship, you know, hardship fund. It's called Exceptional Hardship Fund, and this is £3,000 per year again. So this money, you can get it if you're able to show that despite all the support that you've already got from the previous ones that we've mentioned, you're still unable to do nursing even though you're interested. So with the support that we've already mentioned, yes, it's going to help you, but it's still not enough to help you to study nursing. You need more support. If you apply for this exceptional hardship fund and it's granted, if your application is successful, you get £3,000 every year again. So you can see that the money is over £10,000 so far that you're able to get. But how much you get depends on how well you're able to package yourself and package your application. Because if you have, challenges and you're not aware that those are challenges that you can get money for, to support you to study, then you end up studying without even knowing these things. And I have many student nurses in my coaching program who are not even aware that they're entitled to some of these things. So if you don't know that you're entitled, nobody's going to come and tell you. You're just going to miss out on the money, and that's just going to be the end. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, to now do hit subscribe, turn on that notification button, because you want to be the first to be notified every single time we drop a new video. So all of this money that we've mentioned so far, you don't have to pay it back. If you're a student nurse and you get any of this money, it's all for you to keep, whether you don't have to pay it back ever. It's just free money to support you, and you get this money every year. So it's yearly until you complete your course. And then let's move to the next stage. So the next part of this is money that you do have to pay back. So yes, this is money that you have to pay back, and it's from Student Finance England. Student Finance England is there to support student nurses. No, not only student nurses, obviously, but to support students that are studying in England. So if you're a student nurse, you can apply to Student Finance for support. So obviously you can get the learning support fund that we've said. That's an independent thing. It's totally different. But you can also apply to Student Finance. And Student Finance, you can apply to have your tuition fees paid completely by Student Finance. So if you're studying nursing and your tuition fees are £10,000, for example, and you think, oh my God, I don't have £10,000 to pay, you simply apply to Student Finance and they'll pay all your tuition fees until you complete university. You don't have to pay anything at all. You pay zero. Student Finance will pay everything for you until graduation. How fantastic is that, right? Maybe there's something that you didn't know, but now you know. So leave a comment below to say, Melvis, I will implement. If you've been procrastinating about studying nursing, then you should put an end to this, because now you know that there's quite a lot of financial assistance that you can have. There's quite a lot of support that is out there, even though, yes, we would love for nursing to be free. We would love for student nurses not to pay any tuition fees. But this is something that, obviously we don't know when it's going to change, because I remember in 2011, when I started studying nursing in the UK, nursing then was free for obviously home students. But as an international student, I paid £30,000 to study nursing in the UK. But, tuition fees for nursing were free. It's only a few years ago that the government decided to introduce tuition fees for nursing students. So nursing students in England never used to pay any fees at all. You just went to school, you got paid a lot of money, and that was it. You graduated and off you went. But I think part of that is that many people were studying and not necessarily going to work. So they probably thought, well, what's the point funding everybody and then they don't go on to work anyway? So they just scrapped it. Obviously, I'm not sure. There are lots of campaigns currently ongoing to bring back that bursary. And I do hope that, that change is brought back, or it's, implemented, because it's going to make a huge difference, even with the nursing shortages, obviously, and all of that. So again, Student Finance will pay for all of your tuition fees till you graduate. If your course is 4 years, they'll pay, if it's £9,000 per year, they'll pay £9,000 per year for all 4 years till you finish uni. And there's also something more interesting. If you're struggling financially, despite all the support you've already got, you can also apply for a loan from Student Finance. So if you apply for a loan, Student Finance, this loan is means tested, which means that different people get different amounts. For example, if you are, say, a lady and you want to study nursing and your spouse earns, say, £200,000 per year, you're not going to get much, because they're going to take your household income into account. So if you're living 6 of you in a house and everybody earns £20,000, they're going to take the fact that there are those other people earning money, even though it's not you, but they'll consider they'll consider how much they're earning in order to decide how much you're going to get. So that's the meaning of means tested. So they're going to check all of that, which means the more people you're living with that earn a lot of money, the less support you're going to get from Student Finance in terms of maintenance loan. But obviously this is a loan. It's not money that is free, because like I said previously, everything that you get from Student Finance, you have to pay back at some point, which as I progress into the video, I'm going to tell you at what point you start paying this money back, because obviously you need to pay it back. So it means tester, like I said. But if you're somebody who is a single mother, for example, or a single dad, you know, you're living alone, you know, you can barely work because of childcare and all these different things, you end up with a lot of money. I've seen people get in excess of £10,000, more than £10,000 just from this assessment. So again, it depends on how well you're able to package yourself and present your situation. But know that, you know, it's money that you have to pay back. So make sure that you need this money before you're actually applying. If you don't need it, you don't need to apply. But if you do apply, you always get some money, obviously. But again, it is a loan. So you need to apply through student finance. Once it gets authorized, you get the money. And then now, terms and conditions. So for you to get this money, obviously from student finance, there are requirements. They're going to really check the requirements, make sure that you meet every single requirement. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the money from student finance. So the first requirement, obviously, is that, you know, you need to be obviously in England, and then you need to have a place in nursing. So you cannot apply for the money before you apply for the course, because otherwise, some people will just apply for the money and then they have no intention of studying anyway. So it really doesn't work. You've got to first of all apply for the nursing course. You do the interview, do all of that. Once you get offered the place, then you can apply for the funding. You know, you can apply for the financial support, but it is quite a lot. You know, I've seen nurses who, when you combine all of the money they get over £20,000 per year to support them to study nursing. And this is something that is ongoing right now. You know, it's not, you know, it's money that you can have right now, obviously, if you choose to study nursing. So it's as of the day I'm recording this video, it is still legit and it's still valid and it's still ongoing. So obviously there's eligibility criteria. Like I said, you need to make sure that you're a home student, obviously, to qualify for this money. And then also, like we said, for student finance, you need to pay it back. I don't want any misunderstanding for you thinking, oh my God, yeah, it's all free. But for obviously, if it's a bursary or if it's a grant, you know, from the Learning Support Fund, again, you don't need to pay any of that back. So do be aware of that as well. So again, if you are studying special courses, make sure you're checking the extra that you can get for those special courses, because again, not all nursing courses are the same. You know, if you're doing general nursing, they generally have more places at universities, but also more people generally apply for general nursing. Like me, that's what I did. I did general nursing or adult nursing. And the reason I chose this is because it gives you the maximum, you know, amount of opportunities. And if you're thinking of ever traveling to work abroad, if you're studying in the UK, you need to go for the adult nursing, because it's going to give you the highest opportunities. If you want to go to the US, for example, you want to go to Australia, you want to go to just any country, then you've got that opportunity to do so. Obviously, it's going to be your choice, but if you do like pediatric nursing or mental health, it's considered to be quite limiting, because you haven't really got the general idea of the person. And considering that other countries kind of just do general nursing, it's really then difficult to justify how you meet the requirement to work in that particular country. So this is part of the financial assistance that you get. Obviously, depending on certain personal circumstances, you're either going to get more or get less. Every year, again, one or more things can change. So if there's any changes, I'll do a video about that to bring to you, just so that you're aware. But obviously all of this is legit as of now. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do hit subscribe, turn on that notification button, because you want to be the first to be notified when I drop a new video. I'm all about nursing career progression. I have a private coaching program where I support nurses with career progression, you know, admission into nursing courses, academic support as well. If you're struggling with academic writing, especially like I was saying, you know, mature students, there are people in nursing that have been out of formal education for years, you know, they probably haven't studied for 30 years, 20 years. So it can be daunting to get back into nursing. So, you know, you can get that support with your academic work. Obviously, I'm not doing the work for you, but I'm simply supporting you through that journey, through that process. And then once you're qualifying, and you need to make sure that you've got that orientation towards the best career pathway where you're going to have the best opportunities. Make sure you get a job that is suited for your personality, because look, nursing has so many opportunities, but they're all different. You may be better suited for a community hospital, inpatient area, nursing home, you know, a clinic, specialist nurse, manager. It's just ensuring that you have that support that you rightfully deserve. And then if you're looking for a senior position, you're like, oh my goodness, you know, I really want to specialize. I'm not sure what pathways are available. I'm not sure how to go about these pathways. Then again, I'm your girl. You know, make sure that you check out my private coaching program, because I can support you with that. I've also got online courses that members are, have access to. So you can either have one-to-one access, or you can just have access to one module per month, or you have the whole course obviously at once. The course has over 15 different specialist nursing pathways, including interview preparation. It's a video course, PDF documents, what you need to know about the role, how to progress within it, how to prepare for interviews, the CV, the challenges, every single thing that you need to progress. So if you're watching this and you've been thinking about career progression, you've been struggling in any way, then look, you should consider, getting in contact with me to find out more information about this program, what sort of support you can get, how you can, make sure you transition from where you are now to where you want to be, because there's that gap in between, which is a big challenge, to cover. So if you're going obviously to study nursing, you don't want to put in all this work, all this money for nothing. So now, because you're still watching, I'm going to tell you at what point you actually start paying the money back. So if you're earning over £25,300, that is when you start paying back the money for student finance. So which means that if you take that money, you study nursing, and you never ever work at all, you're never going to pay anything back, which it's not particularly exciting news, because if you're going to university for 3 years or 4 years, you really want to implement, what it is that you're learning. Otherwise, what's the point? Which means you want to get a job at the end of it. And when you look at the fact that nursing right now is paying about £27,000 for the starting salary, it means that it just meets the threshold for you to start paying. So as soon as you get your newly qualified nursing job, you're going to start paying student finance. But it's really small amounts, most people pay between £70 per month and £100 per month. So, it's not really a life-changing amount, considering that without that support, you may probably not be able to do nursing. So it is really worth it. I would definitely go for it. When I was studying nursing, if this was available to me, I definitely would have gone for it. So you do want to make sure you go for this, so that you can achieve your goals, because paying back £70 per month, £100 per month, to be fair, is very achievable. Obviously, something you need to note is that, the UK now is in recession, and obviously the Bank of England interest rates are going to affect your payments. So if the interest rates are going up or down, it's going to affect your payments for the student loans, which means the payment can go up and it can come down. So again, this is just something to be aware of. But again, you don't really have control over this, because it's got to do with the banks, and it's got to do with the financial experts. So it's really difficult for you to be able to influence this. And then one thing as well, if you're going to study nursing, even if you've studied in the UK before and you've got another degree, if you've taken the student loan from student finance, you can still take it the second time to study nursing. Because one of the things that many boys ask me is, Melvis, I've already got a degree in XYZ, and yes, I took a student loan. Can I still study nursing despite the fact that I already did this degree? The answer to this is yes. If you've already got another degree, there's absolutely no, you're exempted. Or as far as nursing is concerned, you can do nursing as a second degree and still take the student loan for the second time. They would accept that, and this is something that I've supported many people to apply, and I'm 100% sure that they do accept people, because I know that there's always lots of concerns about this. So if you've studied for another degree, you don't need to worry about it. You can apply for the student loan, and you'll still be able to get access to this loan without being declined, because obviously nursing, like I say, is exempted from giving you the student loan as a second degree or even the third degree. So you can definitely do that. So this video is really just to encourage you to say that yes, financially it's very difficult when you're working full-time, you're studying, you've got a family as well, or you've got yourself to look after, you're missing out on those important family events. But once you're qualified, obviously, you just need to get a job in a place that is going to be adaptable and suitable for your work, for your lifestyle, so they can have a better work-life balance. Otherwise, it can become really, really challenging, which again is something that I do support with in my coaching program, just advising and finding different strategies to better support you to manage your time very well from when you're a student till when you qualify and you're looking for those senior positions. So we have weekly live sessions. These live sessions are more like drop-in sessions. They're usually every Thursdays from 8:30 p.m. It's mainly like drop-in sessions. So if you have anything they want to discuss, you always know that that's the day of the week where you can meet up. There's also a nursing community hub which is available 24/7. You know, when you join the program, you have access to an online community. So if you've got any questions anytime, or you just want to reach out to me one-to-one, you can do that, because this is where I give that one-to-one support, I give that tailored support, I give that individualized support, because otherwise it's just not possible really otherwise. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do make sure that you hit subscribe, turn on the notification button. I'm happy that you've watched it till now. I really appreciate your time. I know that, you know, life is busy, so also check out my private coaching program and to see what is on offer. Make sure that you join my email list as well. I've got a newsletter. Join that newsletter, keep you updated on you know, any special changes that are going on. I also do a video on it, which is why I say subscribe to the channel, because if there's any changes to this financial assistance, then obviously I can always do a video to make sure that you're updated, make sure that you don't miss out on anything that would support you, you know, that would better support you to achieve your dream of becoming a nurse. Because many people have such a sweet, bitter relationship with nursing. It's like, oh, should I do nursing? Oh, I shouldn't. Then one day you're keen, then the next day you don't want to, and it's just ongoing. You need to stop that procrastination. You know, leave a comment below and say, Melvis, I will implement. If you like such content, like the video so that I know that you're enjoying content like this, because I only do videos for things that people are asking me. Keep watching the videos. I've done videos about, you know, all sorts of things about nursing. Do check it out and make sure that you keep watching. Share this video with any friends, loved ones, relatives that are able to benefit from this experience, and keep watching.